Amplify example, right?
Why go Agile?
I need a little bit of time to think. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Can we start again?
Yeah.
Because to move fast, to have collaboration with customers. For example, if I want to build software from some company, I would definitely want my say into making the software. So why not Agile?
So you make software incrementally and you have a time box, so you know what you're delivering in a certain period of time.
I think for me, it's essentially working closely with customers, then getting feedback to deliver better software. I think historically, software companies have never really done a really great job at delivering everything the customer was asking for, or even half of what the customer was asking for, because needs change. So I think it's working closely with customers to get sufficient feedback and to just deliver great, beautiful working software.
Not a superwoman.
An Agile coach is not a manager.
An Agile coach is not a subject matter expert. That essentially means that you don't need to know everything, every little minute detail about what the team is doing. Your job is to get them across their finish line and help them out with the processes that get them there. So I think one of the things that people forget about the Agile coach role is that you do need somebody that protects and defends the team from product owners and stakeholders. So product owners and stakeholders usually apply a whole lot of pressure on dev teams to get a whole lot of things done in a really small amount of time. And the Agile coach's role is to sort of have that divided up and have it make sense for the team, how much they can actually deliver, and have them commit to only that.
There are times when teams evolve and they probably get bigger, and then there are barriers and problems that arise. Sometimes you need an impartial perspective to solve those problems, so that's where you need an Agile coach.
Why do we need a coach for any game? And in my honest opinion, I think the Agile coach's sole responsibility is to eliminate the dependency on the coach for the team. So when we have that ideal state of the team, that perfect team, you don't really need an Agile coach. But well, it's a real world. It's no ideal team yet there. So till then, you need us. It looks funny.
I can't face when she says that. I'm sorry.
Alright, so when we started, so we largely follow Scrum, mostly follow Scrum. So when we started doing Scrum, Zyma was one of our first Agile coaches. And I was like really interested in, like, the word Scrum seemed like very interesting to me. And I was always intimidating her with anything that rhymed with Scrum. So,
like
bursting into meeting rooms with
yeah, I mean, like
Scrum bag,
Scrummy bear, like anything that went the rhyme with that.
Scrum master,
Scam
master,
yeah, everything that basically.
Scam master.
Yeah.
You still do that. I think for me the funniest was the intro that I got in I was in a wedding recently, and so it was one of my teammates' wedding. So he was introducing everyone else, and so there was this head of engineering going, and so he was introducing his wife, like the new bride, with him, this is Imran Bhai, our head of engineering. And so then one after another he was going through, and I was on the last. So I got up and he looked at me and he said, with a smile, big smile, "Oh, this is Nusrat Apu. She brings us up to get the work done."
When I started with one of the teams downstairs, they decided they wanted to start naming, well, all of our sprints get named after a certain theme, and they decided they wanted to start naming them after Victoria's Secret models, which meant that at least 10 minutes of our meeting was spent looking at pictures of Victoria's Secret models so they could pick the right one.
I might get uncomfortable.
We have the exact same posture. That's weird.
I'm trying to. So I think the hardest part about being an Agile coach is when you start with a team, to get them to think of you as one of them can be very, very difficult, because a lot of them will think you're too closely linked to management, too closely linked to product owners, too focused on processes, etc. But I think once they accept you as a part of the team and a team member, that's when you can actually get to work. So I think the hardest part is having them accept you as one of the team.
One of the hardest parts of being an Agile coach has been when I had more than one teams and both of the teams needed attention, and I could clearly see that I was paying attention to one team over the other over time. So I think like that was really difficult sometimes.
The hardest part, I would say, sometimes it might feel it's like a thankless job, and when it comes to like teams celebrating their success, you might feel your contribution to the team is unacknowledged or unseen. But of course, that goes back to that point of what Zaima said, like when the teams actually accepts you as part of the team, it becomes better. So if you guys are deciding to go with Agile for your company, you don't necessarily have to go with Scrum, because there are other methodologies in Agile as well, like Kanban, Lean, Extreme Programming. You could really mix it up or go with any of these based on what your company needs, where your company is at this moment, like also like for what type of software you're building or in which phase you are in. So taking all these things into consideration, you can mix it up and go for it.
Yeah, and if you guys are going Agile, do you guys have a dedicated Agile coach?
So reply to us in the comment section below and also like the video.
Like us.